Um, Something that probably should go into the last one is where we go da 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 da. In the intro, you want to leave a gap there because it's for the drums, but well, you can work up to leaving a gap there. But it's probably easier to put two pulses in the da da, two percussive strums, because it basically then makes your right hand almost hit every one on the eighth pulse. So you start, if I'll give you an idea, look, that's the eighth pulse, and then we just go. And so I'm now just pulsing on the eighth, which is quite good, quite a useful little detail to be aware of. Obviously, sing. That's basically, it's what you want to try and do is at this stage. I'll just play it for a few more passes and see if you can. You can always use these to play along, but also you can just say, you need to be able to. You need to be able to keep the pulse, which is here, going, which is inside you, but you need to be able to direct yourself to this hand or this hand in terms of how each one sits on the pulse. So it's like if you want to be aware of it marking eighths, and so as you're hearing these chord changes against these eighths, you'll find that if you direct your attention here at the wrong time, it'll disrupt this hand. And if you direct your hand to attention here too much, it'll disrupt this hand, because they do coordinate, but they're not in a way that you would expect. It's something you have to execute until something you have to keep running at it like a brick wall, and just running into the brick wall until eventually the disruption is beaten out of you, by repetition. But just because I'm demonstrating this, and hopefully you can see the purpose. It'll just a pig when you understand what you should do, but your body won't do what you want it to do. So I'll recycle it a few more times, but say established by concentrating on this hand that I'm actually playing straight eights all the time. And when I actually move, when there's an eighth here, there's a pulse strum there or a percussive strum, and I'm in between chords. That's a trigger that can set you off and be hesitant, and suddenly you've lost the coordinate, you've lost the synchronization, and your chords are not going in the right place. But it doesn't matter, because when I'm coming off G and go into I think it's G to F, and I go in from G to A minor, there'll be one of these eighth pulses that's in between chords, where this hand's in between chords. But it doesn't matter, because the repetition of this and the odd slight dissonance just makes the rhythm even more complex to the listener, and it's that complexity that will pull your ear away from everything. It's something you have to just push through. So you just have to hit those open strings when you're in between chords, because the rule is keep the rhythm, the pulse going solid. So you try and watch this and play along, and eventually play along with it, but by shifting your attention to see how to smooth all this out in your own perception. So I'll start with my straight eighths. I'll do it a bit slower, and what you want to establish is that I'll never come off straight eighths, downstrokes on my right hand. So I end up with. Hopefully that makes some sense.